Hi, Virgo. Let's put that there. Why? Well, season's coming up. Gotta prep. Season's coming up. Gotta start getting ready. How much time do I have? Not enough time. How much time do I need? Should have been done already. Should have been now. Ace of Wands, Eight of Cups. New opportunities and painful endings seem to go hand in hand. Goes with the Leo reading as well. Queen of Wands. Speaking of the Leo reading, fire sign energy, Ace of Wands, Queen of Wands. Fire flanking the painful endings. Baptism by fire. You may be going through a new pain, a pain you have not had to register before. And some of you are thinking, but I am X amount of years old, I've felt all the things. No. No. This is fiery pain. It's something that will motivate you. Ace of Wands. It will make you better. It will make you do better. It will make you want to be more powerful. Virgos can be so cool. It's like, no, I don't need that. I don't need all that. I'm good. I'm good the way I am. But there's an ambition here. Ace of Wands, Queen of Wands. You want more. Why not? And I'm not talking about love. I'm talking about everything. You're ready to embrace the Leo season, but the apprehension builds as the time passes. Yeah, I want to live life. I want to be all about it, but my season's coming up and I want to be a certain way and look a certain way and be established in a certain way. And I told myself last year that by the time my birthday came back around this year, I would be. But maybe you didn't count on there being all these retrogrades and eclipses when you thought about this time. Because sure, we're a year later, but it has been a stop and start year. We all know that. Everyone has been frustrated by it. Ace of Wands is a great card to open up with during the retrogrades, though, because it means that irrespective of how many obstacles there are, you're golden. Just keep working. Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Cups. You're golden. Just don't get stuck. You can't even really work until you get rid of that ending. How are you going to focus? Now, if this is a work ending, which for a lot of you it might be, a project comes to a close, a company you used to work with, you just don't want to anymore, your sentiments change, perhaps their politics come to light, perhaps their sentiment about you changes. Something definitive happens that makes you say, okay, there are way more opportunities in the world. There's a lot more out there for me. I just can't do this. And the Eight of Pentacles is like, good, okay, so let's heal and progress, make that progress by changing state. Take the painful ending and turn it into a let's focus on my work, new beginning. Because the new beginning in abundance will find its way through to you through work, through your ambition, through what you like. Maybe it's time to take a course in something that you really like to do. Maybe there are aspects of what you really like to do that you have to outsource to other people, and now would be a great time to learn how to do it yourself. If you've already been thinking about it, then the Ace of Wands is definitely implying that you have the fire necessary to regenerate and heal yourself now if you wish. The Queen of Wands If you watch the Leo reading, the black cat shows up pretty much just like that at the beginning. And I think for you, this is a season that is very definitely meant to add some stairs past the glass ceiling, if you will. There are places that you've been stuck at, that you haven't been able to move past, especially in terms of money and saving and where you want to see yourself. Ace of Wands, Queen of Wands builds, perhaps not a staircase, but throws you a rope ladder from the next stratosphere up. And you can finally get past that glass ceiling. Of course, it's not going to feel like that towards the beginning of August, because it depends on how long it takes you to process whatever is ending and how long it takes you to actually embody the guy who's walking away. It's not easy to walk away from all those cups, just like it's not easy to walk away from all those coins. For when it comes to your emotions, it's just as ludicrous to someone in love, or someone in love with their work, or someone who's put a lot of passion into a project to walk away from it, as it is ludicrous to an earth sign to walk away from something that you love to work on. It's generating money and you have all this effort going into it. That seems just as crazy. So it will be a little bit weird. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. It will be a little bit weird. The way I put it on Instagram this morning is, it's like that Bandaid that needs to be ripped off so bad, and Virgo's like, okay, but can we do this in a clean way? Like, can we do this in a way where it's still like totally sanitized? Like, it doesn't even need to be pretty. Don't be ridiculous. It just needs to be super hygienic and clean. Can we do that, please? And Cancer season's like, listen, I got all this water waiting for you. I have all season to wash away whatever gunk is under there, but you won't let me pull this Band-Aid off. And then when it, does actually get pulled off, when it's forced off, instead of you being mentally prepared and ripping it off yourself, you know how things are easier for some people it's easier for them to do it themselves, and for other people it's easier to have someone else do it. I definitely feel like Virgos are stuck between the two right now, where they really, really would like for someone else to do it, but that requires getting really close to you guys, and it's also really hard for you to get close enough to someone to allow them to do it for you, like expose that truth for you. So the Tower coming in as then, the cosmos being like, all right, I'll do it. Like, somebody's got to do it, fam, then I'll do it. Okay, good. But Ace of Wands, first card out, being like, what I'm going to give you for what I'm taking away is so great, really reminiscent of the Leo reading. But instead of having to face things about yourself and then move forward from there, this is about having to face things. The Eight of Pentacles, when you finally decide to walk away from something, it's about facing the reality of the situation, facing yourself, but also just being really honest about what your motivations were from the beginning, what you wanted out of it. Because you can face yourself and say, okay, I'm like this, I'm like this, I'm like this, but until you're truly honest with yourself about your intentionality, what were your intentions going into whatever it is that didn't work out, whatever this Tower moment is trying to get rid of, teach you, whatever it is, how did we get there? What was it? Retracing the steps back, where was it that wrong turn was taken? And if there's anyone who can do that, it's you, but it's really hard for anyone else to do it for you, because the chances of it being taken wrong or for you guys to be sensitive are so great. So definitely everything that goes on in Leo season is very sensitive, because it is your subconscious. The back of your brain behaves like a Leo, and that's great, because it's here, and the Eight of Cups is asking you to draw on that subconscious Leonine strength for sure. But your feelings are much more sensitive, and so even though the season is demanding something from you, that your subconscious is completely capable of. The repercussions of it are what concern me. The patient has to survive the cure. Just because you feel like a Leo right now and that part of you is being fed and fire is being channeled into that subconscious house doesn't mean that you can deal heart-wise with the ramifications. So it's a hard position to be in. You know what you need to do, but you don't really know if you have the wherewithal to do it. And so the Tower, you can see then, is really a welcome moment, because something's got to give. It's like when it needs to rain, and the pressure builds and builds and builds. The pressure has built and built and built, and something's got to give. Like, we need these clouds to burst, we need to move forward. The Eight of Pentacles and the Tower, to me, looks like a, albeit messy, but fresh start. Finally, some sort of a clean break. Maybe not so clean, but still, necessary for your evolution. And then, of course, the age-old Virgo advice, get lost in your work. Eight of Pentacles, it will sort itself out. Queen of Wands, also about a dominating female figure in your life. Doesn't have to be a fire sign, but someone who is trying really hard to influence you right now. And I'm not really sure if that's the way. I'm not sure if you can. I'm not sure if there's anything there that will benefit you. It just looks like stress. And if there's one thing we want to do this summer, especially, the month before it's time for you guys to work, is not stress you. One thing we don't want to do is stress you. So everybody's season is about having fun, happy birthday, yay. But Virgo season is about Virgo working. So Virgo gets to hang out and think and overthink and study and educate and indulge, party, be beautiful. And then once a year, when it's super, super important, you're up. Figure it out. Figure out what we're going to eat and how long we're going to have food to eat and how long we'll live and all of that. It's on you. Let's do it. Seven of Wands, Nine of Swords, bottom of the deck, the Fool. And Six of Swords, we're looking a little into the extended now. The Sun, okay. And Four of Wands, Four of Swords. Wow, definitely looking into the extended. So let me show you these. But let's talk about this for a minute. If we get stuck watching the time like this, everything will become a race and it will lose its meaning. And right now you need to be focused on not what you can get done and what boxes you can check and how quickly you can move, but just that it's done in a real way, so you don't have a temporary success and then slip back into something very painful, even if it's just in your mind. You must, at this time, move boldly into the future, but also humbly, because this is someone who makes mistakes. This is someone who is haughty and can miss their own blessings by being so. It's up and down, but it's still really good. Now that the hard part is essentially over, now it's just about, one, damage control, but also acting on what you've realized. So the Eight of Cups definitely is about what you've seen, what you now feel, and you're just like, I just don't want to do this anymore. Like, it is consuming, and you don't want it. And oh, hold on, please. So these are the two cards that flew away, and And then underneath them, what was exposed by the wind, by the air, is the Gemini card. So I'll lay all these out and we can take a look at them together. All the info about extended readings will be on Vimeo. There's also going to be a guided meditation up there, and cusp readings are also available there. So if you watch your sign, you're like, this is not quite, I'm actually a bit of both, then you can check that out. The guided meditation will be for all signs and just about how to embrace this Leo energy and bring about the best for us, how our energy can mix and mingle with Leo energy to produce the best sort of abundance for us this month. All right, so all the links will be below. I will be in Atlanta on August 25th, so I'm not sure if that is lost or it has been lost in the way that I've been describing it, but the link is below for Eventbrite, and you can get tickets there. Oakland is almost sold out, so you can check that out. There's 2 dates. There's an afternoon and an evening. We've never done an afternoon date, so that should be super fun. And the thing about the satsangs, if you don't really know what they're about or how they work, it's really cool. You can just ask me anything. So it's basically like getting a free reading or a personal reading once you've bought the ticket to come in. You can ask me anything. You can sit with me. Energy transfers are a thing. So that's all kind of included in coming to the satsang. And it's just like a hangout. In New York, I think we're going to do it in the park because why not? The weather's going to be beautiful. In LA, I think we're going to do it in a park as well. So I will put up the Eventbrites, but the locations will be, to be announced. All right, let's look at these cards. I'll see you in a second. Hi. All right, so now that you can see them all laid out, you can see how it's necessary. And I don't think that it will be as scary as you think as long as you're willing to stay vigilant. Don't sleep on this. When you start to feel a little bit better after the middle of August, before the birthday season begins, stay vigilant, stay on top of it. Don't let yourself sink back into a place of, let me relive all of this because it's been a year and where have I come? If you get stuck there, then the push of the Fool will be too much. And if we're not ready to walk off this cliff, then obviously we fall. So we really want to prep as much as we can towards the beginning of August. And how do you do that? Really, the only advice is to not stress it. Because you will want to, and it's the thing that will keep your happiness from you. Of course, there is a need to break away. Of course, there is a need to contemplate, but there are various ways to contemplate. And of course, the sun comes out again. Here you are in your power. Here you are in your power. Here you are in your power. These are all cards of power. We'll go into these. We'll clarify and we'll explain these in the extended. And these 3 as well. So these 7 cards here, talking about more in depth, we'll apply them to what's already on the table. But look here. So there is an echoing of sentiment here, power. If there is someone in your life that you feel is trying to overpower you, try to find the benefit in it. There's something they're trying to tell you, something they're trying to teach you. And it may have to do with this ability to let go. You may be surprised at how quickly during Leo season you are able to release things, because it's not your nature to just quickly release, but I feel like you're being given all the tools and all the insight that you need to make the tower palatable. But then after we have that moment, and you're like, but what's that moment going to be? It's the moment when you realize that nothing is more important than your happiness, and your happiness is not determined by a checklist that you should go down. And
That's when it froze. Checklist. It's not at all necessary before a new year to feel this way. Even if you naturally are thinking it through and you're feeling really bad, it's not necessary. It's a really great time of year, and so much good really is dying to come to you, but the cleaning house that's required, you don't want to take that on yourself as a personal judgment. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just because there's house cleaning required doesn't mean that you've necessarily failed. Even perfect people have trash to throw away. Even perfect scenarios create waste, and that waste needs to be disposed of. It's not a judgment to have to clean house. You know, you can't live in a way that things never get dirty. Sometimes things get messy, and it's important to realize where things have gotten messy. And you may with this Eight of Cups realize some stuff about yourself, not just in why the situation ended or why that person walked away from you, why you walked away from that person, but really what was going on with you. And I think the person you're dealing with is probably coming to those realizations as well. There's some pretty heavy eclipse stuff going on. And I think the reason it's necessary to put this out early is because I have a feeling that this eclipse energy is going to be a little bit delayed for you guys. And that may make you feel like, oh, I'm over this, I'm over this hurdle, but it's like a false victory. And then you don't want to feel the dip of, oh no, I wasn't really as ahead as I thought. So to avoid all this, I'm having to go, like this and like this again. We want to avoid as much hyperbolic sentiment as we can. So let's not go up and down like this. Instead, using this as a teachable moment, learning from whatever the tower, sudden, change, sudden reversal has to teach us. And then instead of immediately being elated by what we think is going on, just hold back a little bit. Hold back so we don't go all the way up and all the way down. Hold back because your initial sentiments will not be correct. You don't know enough yet. There's so much here that has to do with the cosmos filling in the blanks for you. The only thing that you're really being advised to do is keep your hands open so you know when to grab what's given to you, to keep your heart as guarded as possible because it is time to pull away from certain things, to be bold, to be brave, to embody the Leo spirit of the season, and to embrace your subconscious. To focus on that which you know is a very strong aspect of your personality and brings you a lot of peace. So work and focus. It is undeniable that sudden events are jarring. That's what the whole card is about. It's a jarring scene. However, you must realize that everything that happens in your life in some sense is jarring because we never know what's going to happen next. So even the foreshadowing of this may happen next, this kind of happens all the time, to be honest. There's tower moments all the time. So no need to get stuck. When it happens or in this reading, no need to get stuck here. And no need to climb on top of a burning tower and say, ha, I knew it, I did it, or see, or don't do it. Because whatever this is, however it may apply to someone else, it's also applying to you. This is a mutual karmic thing that's happening. Perhaps it's with this water sign, this fire sign who's showing up really strong here, or the air sign. We'll clarify about that, definitely, when it comes to the tower. And then the next major arcana here, the Fool. So we really want to see by the end of August, and it's so good to see this here, that you're coming into your season new. And you can't begrudge a hermit wanting to be alone, but this is a lot different than the guy with the lamp, right? in the dark by themselves, check, check. But you decide when you're in that cave, Virgo, if you're going to bring insight and use your mind as a tool, or if you're going to overthink and use your mind as a weapon against yourself, first and foremost. And the Fool stands here as a warning and as a boon. A warning that one who is too egotistical and confident without first having done the work, let's say, this is dangerous because you don't want to lead with your insecurities and your inadequacies and lead you to an even more precarious situation. At least here you're just laying in bed, you know? But don't be led by your insecurities, and the only way not to do that is not to indulge them. But if you are able to use what you learned here, mid-August, and instead of ruminating, you are able to be the hermit and find insight within it, then the Fool becomes a card of great luck and good fortune. And the little animal nipping at his heels is no big deal. In some decks, this is a tiger, which would be, I think, much more apt in your situation because it's either I'm going to walk off this cliff and I'm going to levitate, or this tiger is going to, have a great meal, albeit a flowery one. That would make the pressing nature of the faith needed here by this character even more profound, but you can see it anyway, right? Whether there is a tiger there or not, the Fool is not propelled by what is at his heels, and he is not daunted by what lies in front of him because he is completely in the moment. And this person is completely not in the moment, out of the moment, stuck in another time and place, and unable to work themselves out of whatever happened. This can very easily, and it even looks like someone who's made a mistake. When you've just made a mistake, I know this feeling so well. I hate making mistakes. I hate it. I hate doing things wrong. And then it's so hard to stop thinking about it. It's so hard to stop kicking yourself and saying, I knew I shouldn't have done that. I knew I shouldn't have said that. Why did I do that? Why did I say that? Now it's like this. Now it's like this. Now it's too late. This cycle starts within you where you just can't handle the fact that you have done something that everyone does all day long. Just like I'm saying about the tower. People make mistakes all day long, every day. And yet for some of us, Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, Virgo Rising, Virgo Venus, mistakes are horrendous. And it's difficult not to assume when we're feeling like this Nine of Swords card that perhaps it's all our fault and this was all, and then you can sink into an even deeper spiral if you start doing that. At this point, does it matter if it's your fault or not? I think the most important thing to do now is to move forward. If that means you realize something is your fault, don't ruminate, apologize. If that means that something isn't your fault, don't ruminate. Move forward. Either way, if you apologize or you forgive yourself and the other person or whatever you end up doing, move forward. The only way this season can really trap you is if you let it trap you in your head. You're not a lion. No one can put you in a cage, but I'll tell you, you can put yourself in a cage faster than anybody can. That's why Virgos are so uptight, because you guys keep yourselves, caged up pretty well. And between the eclipses and this really heavy Cancer season that we've come out of, and now going from the depth to the height, here we go, up into Leo season, we need to be a bit, strict with the self and not let it imprison itself. Because you just don't know when this Ace of Wands opportunity is going to mix with this Fool energy, and like boom, then you have a huge project and huge money coming. You just don't know. You don't, it's that thing about you never know who you're going to run into, so you should always put some effort into how you look. It's the same. You never know when that opportunity is coming, so you need to keep your vibe positive and focused and not let yourself slip into a place of, oh my God, another year, and then now, and what have I, and this thing that happened, oh my God. This is repelled. Ace of Wands energy is repelled by Nine of Swords energy, okay? So we need to just hop over it. Do the best you can. Discipline yourself. Like a Leo. Teach yourself how to see the bright side of things this month, no matter how bleak it seems. Because by the time it comes to your season, you'll be all right. Look at all that over there. You'll be all right. Look at this. You'll be all right. Traveling and all that. All right, Virgo. I love you guys. All the links are below. I'm putting these videos up as I make them. So the the guided meditation and the cusp readings will be up by the 20th, when everything else should be up. So if you're looking for those and can't find them, it's just because I'm doing the actual readings first. Okay? I love you. I will see you in August. No, I'll see you in September. Is it September already gonna be? Wow. I'll see you for your season. That's gonna be fun. And my book comes out the first day of your season. Yay!